have the speed. They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Ryland Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions. At the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
and when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Final stone. Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a rock for... That would make sense why he didn't curl.
Well, we gotta not kill that. It's gotta just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like hack to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah? Yeah, I think it's probably just hack.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4 foot with hack.
Really good spots for Miller.
I think John's in a situation where he needs to send one of the right guards back.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, and it's dead nose and just, it's gonna go spinning. This actually might catch two and just leak back.
I think it does. Here.
Okay, so it might, yep. Close to dead.
Hammer something.
Extra focus of the players, because sometimes you just couldn't hear yourself thinking, and we needed to like use signs and show what we meant instead of just.
Close. Last drop. Yep. 8th in.
Close. Yep.
Isabel Verano.
inside the Sleeman Center here in Guelph, Ontario for the 4th event on the Grand Slam of Curling calendar. It is the WFG Masters. It's draw 4 of the event, but the first game for these two teams, Joel Retornaz up against Matt Dunstone. John Cullen, pleased to be here with you once again, and also pleased to be joined making his Grand Slam of Curling commentary debut. Team member for Reed Carruthers, coach of Team Laws, Connor Negevin is here. Hi, Connor.
Hi, happy to be here. Looking forward to this.
Pleasure to have you here as we get a look at the lineup for Team Retornaz there from Cembra, Italy. We have Joel Retornaz at skip, Amos Mosaner at third, Sebastiano Armand at second, and Mattia Giovanella at lead. And before that, we saw the Team Dunstone lineup a little bit changed from St. John's, Newfoundland. The last time we saw this Dunstone team, BJ Neufeld still a member of the team, but that is no longer. Curling out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, we've got Matt Dunstone at skip, Colton Lott moving up to the third position, EJ Harnden slotting in at second, and Ryan Harnden at lead. And Connor, as these Grand Slam fans are watching this new look Team Dunstone for the first time, what have you made of the move? That, you know, these are guys that you've curled with and against for a long time. You know, what was the first thing, your first reaction when you heard that BJ was out and EJ was in?
Yeah, I think they're looking for a little bit of familiarity with everybody. I mean, obviously the brothers have played together so long, and me being a Manitoban, I grew up with Colton and Matt being a back end from when they were 17. So I think just looking to find a little bit of a spark, as they were saying, and get the brothers back together.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, certainly we know about their power on the brush. There's no question about that. And like you said, I think the shakeup was the key thing. You know, I think as someone who has been at all the slams this year and seen this Team Dunstone play, it just looked like they were looking for a little something. And it seems they found it. They've only played 2 full tournaments with EJ so far, and they've won both of them. They won in Red Deer back when EJ was sparing for EJ, and then with EJ as the first official team member, they won the Aztec Safety Challenge in Minster last weekend.
Hard line. Yeah, and I was in that event last week.
Okay, just bite the 8 on this line. Easy now. Easy.
Very well, and for the most part, I don't think had a very close game with anyone.
This is a mover.
So we heard early on, they've maybe identified that stone over curling a little bit as Ryan Harnden comes around that center guard. And I know the commentators have been talking about it all day, but this is also the debut of the new blank rule. You cannot blank 2 ends in a row. Or, well, you can, but the hammer flips if you blank that second end. And Connor, you've had a chance now. Your team played. What were the conversations like with your team, Team Laws, that's here in this event, about the new rule change, or were you thinking that you needed to do anything different? How did you guys go about approaching it?
Yeah, I think like it gets really interesting, I would say, for those ends 5, 6, 7, because the last thing you want to do is get stuck in the 7th end, blanking the 6th, knowing that you have to score, and not being able to retain that hammer going into the last end. So the analytics are so heavily weighted for the team that does have the hammer, and especially kind of getting into those later half of the games, that you really got to pay attention to. I think you'll see a lot in the men's game of when do we throw the high hard one at second, and do we lob another one in there.
Line's good.
Those blanks just come so easy with just how hard these guys can throw.
Middle rail. Cannot bounce on this line.
Right now.
So we'll see if the teams approach it differently here. I was watching the men's draw in between baking bread with Team Schwaller earlier today, but it did seem like, to me anyway, the teams didn't approach it too differently. At least in the games that I was watching, it seemed like they were kind of going about things the same way, as that slides a little deep for Ryan Harnden. Is that something you noticed as well, Connor? Don't know if you watched the men's games earlier,
yeah, I think people are trying to figure it out a little bit too. I think it's one of those things that everybody's just going to go status quo, and you'll see people adapt as they play more games and get into those kind of pressure cooker situations, and people take a few different chances maybe. But it's a little bit of a unique rule, which is kind of what the slams are known for, right? Trying something new. So I think people are a little bit unaware of like exactly how to approach it.
Yeah, definitely the slams were at the forefront of introducing the 5-rock rule, also introducing the no-tick rule. And so we'll see if this one sticks in the way that those have, as Sebastiano Armand trying to find nose of that Yellowstone. It does poke off a little bit. Dunstone lying one. Dunstone starting with hammer here in the first.
Try and roll for a corner.
And it's shots like these that get interesting
Don't eat nose.
with the double blank rule. Because you can throw it so hard and make such a great shot, but if you miss by just a millimeter, you could end up seeing EJ get all of the reds, or making a jam or something like that, where it gets a little interesting. But Matt's going to default now to like a softer weight shot.
Whoa, whoa.
Good weight.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Whoa.
So our first look at EJ Harnden here at a slam on the side of Matt Dunstone, looking for a hit and roll.
That's a good throw, each. 10-9.
Matt seemed to like it.
Non so se che la pena per la doppia è restare. Potresti giocare solo questo intanto. E questa qua.
La doppia, filata.
Sì, probabilmente Roland Fora.
Ma guarda che da qua a quella di la vedo quasi metà. Se c'è qua in 3/4, secondo me la ghetta da stare.
Ok. 9 e 8.
Ok, 8.
I don't know if we could fit a few more people on that
Filata,
coach's
sì.
bench there, John.
Gianno va alla seconda.
Well, you know, it's you got to get stacked up in these events. Yeah, we've got Ryan Fry, Joel Retornaz's usual coach, behind the bench for them, and I am not sure exactly who's with him there. Might be Soren, maybe. Not sure.
That's their Italian coach.
Okay.
As the double is made there from Sebastiano.
7 metri.
And then for Dunstone, yeah, we have maybe Adam Kingsbury, Caleb Flaxton, and Jeff Stout all behind the bench. I like that they do have a little dinky chair for Adam Kingsbury to sit in there. They ran out of high chairs to put behind the benches, I guess. But yeah, I get Adam is like sort of their mental performance coach, sports psychologist. Doesn't travel to every event with them. Caleb's also their coach, but he is a curler, so you might see something similar to what Mike McEwen does, where Pat Simmons coaches them, and Brent Lang is their fifth technically at the Briar. You are allowed to have two people with you on the bench, so probably a similar situation for Matt, I would imagine.
And it's getting more common just across the system, seeing one coach for sure and potentially a fifth or two coaches, and especially as we get closer and closer to the Olympics.
Linea buona.
Yeah, I always found that funny, you know, because you have at least in Canada, you have the Curling Canada national coaches too. So often, I mean, when you and I were coming up, men's teams never had coaches. And then they'd make the Worlds, and all of a sudden there's 4 people behind the bench somehow. So yeah, you know, you're right. It's definitely become a lot more common, and it's something that teams have to get used to at the Worlds and Olympics anyway, so they might as well be doing it here. And I think it's anything for an edge, right, Connor, these days. The international teams are getting so good, you just have to try to keep up.
100%, and I think just you don't want to go to a world championship and meet the people on your bench for the first time is a big thing. So having a bit of people kicking around that you know who they are and how they operate is always nice. So Matt kind of flipping the gear here and going with the freeze after EJ jammed the run back.
Yeah, just a hair deep from Amos. This will allow Colton Lott to chase after this stone. Try and freeze on it. It's very well done from Colton Lott. And that was one thing I thought, Connor, that was interesting. You know, I think, especially for a team at the level of Matt Dunstone, now ranked number 3 in the world. When you think of a guy young like Colton moving up into the back end, that would normally be a bigger deal, but I thought it was interesting. No one really thought it was that big of a deal when Colton moved up to 3rd, because I think he's just thought of so highly by other curlers.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing against him. It's been a nightmare, honestly. He's always been like an incredible talent, and like a generational talent since he was 16 years old. So I think it was one of those things where, especially with his mixed doubles stuff too, playing so well by himself and with his wife there, them having such a good team. I think everybody just knows that Colton can make everything.
I don't know where else
so it's the familiarity with Matt that also helps, and just kind of plug and play, I think, for Matt.
So Amos, unfortunately, a little heavy on his first and then a little light on his second. Leaves Dunstone line one, but Matt's just trying to figure out how to get another point into the button there, another counter into the button.
And this is a good test to see if Colton's ready for the game. And draw to the needle and the eighth or quarter rock across the house double.
Just a little more, Matt.
It's a pretty crucial shot here for Colton Lott. If you don't make this, it's going to be pretty easy for Retornaz to choke off the scoring area.
Whoa. Curl.
Ryan Harnden trying to bring this one over.
Straight.
That was just never quite there for Colton Lott, and this is a pretty wired double here, I think, Connor.
Yeah, and a really confident call by Matt there in Colton, but one of those ones that if you miss, it can look a little bit ugly here. So a big opportunity for Italy.
I always thought that was Max.
You think that Joel actually owns a truck?
No chance.
0% chance.
0% chance. Well, I don't know, though. He owns horses. He's kind of like a mysterious guy, right? So maybe he got a truck like out on the farm or something like that. I don't know. It's very possible. So I never knew this, but as Joel does prepare for the double here, I never knew this, but the Trucks hat is actually from Donut Media, which is a YouTube channel, and I know one of the guys who runs it. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, do you know that there's like a very high-level curler that's been wearing your merch? And he said, yeah, I think we sort of heard about that back in the day. And I said, well, we got to get some crossover content going, as that is just missed by Joel Retornaz over curls. So still Dunstone lying one, but yeah. So we're gonna try. If he's never driven a truck or doesn't have a truck, we're gonna get him in a truck. We're gonna do some stuff back in the day. And I said, well, we got to get some crossover doing some automotive content. Joel Retornaz over curls.
That's one of those ones where I think Joel would say that if he wanted to miss it, he probably wanted to miss it a little thick. Kind of missing it thin leaves the door open here. If Matt makes a good one, then he's probably gonna have to concede the deuce.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, unfortunate. Colton kind of put it in exactly the wrong spot, and then unluckily for Joel, he did exactly the same thing.
I think this is where you kind of see the growth of a player like Matt, this soft weight stuff. He's gotten to be one of the best in the world now, and this is kind of the shot that he's been really kind of getting better and better at. And I think having the Brush brothers now makes these shots a little bit easier.
Speaking of the Brush brothers, EJ Harnden leaning on this one. And maybe leaned on it a little too hard. Ryan now trying to bring it over. You can't roll too far here. And unfortunately, yeah, just that power from EJ keeps it straight. And that's something we have seen. I mean, I was watching only on stream. Over, you can't roll too far here. You obviously got a good look behind the sheet. Fortunately, yeah, just that power from EJ earlier, running a little straight right now in the sheets.
Yeah, like I would say this is not typical slam ice. We're kind of looking at middle of the 8 foot for draw the button, when normally we would probably be looking at middle of 12. So you're going to get a few people like Matt there thinking that it's going to finish, and they just don't seem to have that bite right now.
So that's something we'll keep an eye on as the game goes. This is a very good chance, Joel Retornaz's last stone, to force Matt Dunstone here. Just can't be heavy here.
Non è male.
Linea buona, solo velocità.
Buona velocità.
Stai lì vicino,
linea buona.
And with it being a bit straighter, the speed is right up to almost 15.5. So having sweepers be a little bit patient is key.
Definitely patience here from the Twin Towers. Mozana and Armand don't do too much with it, and that is really well done by Joel Retornaz. an obvious way to score 2 here for Matt Dunstone, I don't think.
Is there any risk with this run?
Yeah, you can.
We're shot.
The run double, if we plant it.
We're shot.
We're shot.
I just don't. I would hate to give up one.
I think you could give up 2.
Throw it away?
Unlikely.
Yeah, let's nose hit that.
Yeah, my first thought was that he was going to throw this away, but you know when you're on a heater, when you're looking at the 15-foot run double for 3 in the first end, with potentially giving up a steal at 2. But
yeah, exactly. Cooler heads prevailed. Yeah. Yeah, got to be feeling pretty good. You're right, but
I think this is a smart shot.
Yeah, so you heard Matt say they could just throw it away, but he's going to take an opportunity to look at a hit path here. So he's actually going to just hit his own stone in the wings here. It's not going to affect the scoring area at all. But yeah, I did like when Matt said, could this hurt us at all? And EJ said, well, we could miss it and give up 2. So yeah, it will be 1 for Team Dunstone. Joel Retornaz will have the hammer when we come back.
Hey, good setup. I think we can believe nothing on hits.
No.
Just to put that, yeah.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are, and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Top button. 2/3.
2/3?
2/3.
Correct.
And settles for a single. Joel Retornaz will have the hammer in the second end.
2/3.
Good line.
2/3. 2/3.
A reminder that, as usual, all games are live on Home Team Live. This is the only game with player mics and commentary. But if you do want to watch the other games, you can scroll around on Home Team Live or the GSOC app. We have Mark Muskatovic facing off against Ross White right beside our feature game. We have Rylan Kleider and Yannick Schwaller facing off, and Magnus Romsfjell and Brad Gujju. We'll keep you updated on all the scores. Our game, only 1 of 2 with scoring. Yannick Schwaller picking up 2 in the first against Rylan Kleider.
I think we got a good example of what we were kind of chatting about with the ice there. They swept Ryan's first rock most of the way down and it actually slid into the ring. So it's going to take a little bit for these guys to just realize how quick it is and how much they can do with the puck. Obviously, very 2 good sweeping teams, right? Very, very good sweepers, and really got to pay attention to having a head up and watching when it's not curling as much as you think.
Yeah, so Retornaz deciding not to hit the one that does just slip into the rings, throwing the corner guard instead.
Top
so
of
we
the
will see
logo.
Ryan Harnden
Tight
throw
half.
the center here.
Good line.
2/3.
Good line.
2/3.
Little room.
2/3.
Colts rock. Yeah, distance might be a bit better than mine. That's a good spot, Pete. Very good.
So center guard up for Ryan Harnden, and Mattia Giovanella will come around everything. And Connor, as we said, Lloyd Minster last weekend, I mean, not even like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, Matt Dunstone was a winner. And, you know, I know sometimes we talk in curling, it can be hard to come off of a win, go right into the next tournament. Is that a factor at all? Do you kind of get a little bit of burnt out, or is it just business as usual?
I think for the teams that have pre-qualified for the Brier, this is really like their last push, right? Because they're going to look at a 6-week break going into the Brier coming up here. So I think for Matt and these guys, they're embracing every opportunity they have to be on the ice, especially with the new player and and just try to get as many games as humanly possible and
Try
keep
and blast
learning from
it.
each other. So when they do get to the Briar, they're ready to rock. So I think you see guys like Gushu and Dunstone and McEwen and Jacobs obviously already qualified for the Briar. They're really pushing to have results right now and get some extra games in, because it will be almost an unheard of stretch of no curling for them.
Yeah, that's a great point, and I think that maybe speaks to the coaches we're seeing behind the bench too, right? Of just that little last bit of getting used to this is how things are going to be at the Briar in 6 weeks. As you said, it's notable for Brad Gushu, has his alternate, Adam Casey, here this week on the bench for him as EJ makes the chase but does roll out. But yeah, you're exactly right. I think that's a really good point, and again, maybe something that curlers have talked about is perhaps a bit of a flaw in the curling calendar these days. With now that 4 teams are pre-qualified for the Briar, the previous year's champion and the 3 wildcard teams. What do you do if you're those teams, right? It's a layoff that you just really don't have anything close to resembling that in the season. Dunstone maybe would have had 3 weeks off at the maximum during the year, and this is double.
Yeah, just the way our schedule is set up, that October, November, December stretch, you're almost begging for a break, and then all of a sudden you're going to go into what they would argue as their most important event of the year, the Briar, and having coming off 6 weeks. So I think you'll see teams maybe look at doing something, maybe playing against each other or something to try to get some games in. But yeah, that's why you see, like, I know for us, for our ladies team, and I know for Reed's team, the same thing. They're treating it as we're treating it as a pre-Scotties right now. We have our 5th year, we have myself here, and the Curling Canada staff as well, trying to mimic the best we can something that we're going into obviously being the biggest event of the year.
Hard, Ryan. Push the fork, bud.
So unfortunately, pulled the string did Sebastiano Armand, so EJ Herndon has the opportunity now to go around everything in line 2 without
Never off, cool.
not trying to make this one curl.
Never off. Go. 15-5.
Very nice there from EJ. Perfect weight.
And I always wondered if EJ ran at me like that, screaming, if I would run away or keep sweeping.
I have an answer for it. I know what my answer is. And that is I would run away.
I think it's more scary than motivating.
I guess is that the point, though?
I think that might be the point.
Yeah. That's very nice from Sebastian Armand. Gets rid of both yellows that we're counting.
We'll throw this in.
Look at that.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, really well made.
I don't think Sweden will be too far off.
Yeah, like that's kind of where curling yelling has to come from in general, right? I mean, I know it's partly that you're trying to communicate over the other teams, but also a little bit is about instilling fear, I think.
100%, especially as a front-end player. You don't want to accidentally let your skip down.
No,
they're yelling at you.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's way easier to blame when you miss if you give it your all.
Only if you have to. Max line.
Lots of line, guys.
It's always Ej.
Needs to finish.
It's always EJ.
Really needs to finish. Just straight curl, guys.
It's always curl. 15-4. Always curl. Line's getting great. Just going. Hard.
4 there, and that's almost at the T line, not quite. So as you said, Connor, probably 15 to the line right now. See if Amos can get some granite moving here.
Great toss. Good sweep.
Weirdly, I'd be less scared of Amos.
I think the weight is good.
More of a gentle Amos. Yeah, weight's pretty much where you want it. Great stuff for fun. Amos he's got a bit more of a gentle streak to him. EJ's a little more serious. I'd be more scared of EJ, even though Amos is bigger and taller.
I think I go up to each one of their hips, so I don't think I wouldn't want to take on either one of them.
Yeah, but if you're shorter than everybody, is it intimidating anymore?
That's a great point. That's a great point.
You're probably taller than Maddie.
Line's good.
Matt was in my wedding party for that exact reason.
Line. Line's good.
Yeah, you had to balance it out somehow.
Had to make sure the pictures were a little bit even.
Line's perfect. Even back button in there. Go ahead, hard.
It's really
Hard.
I always, you know, Matt's been dating Erin Pincott for a while now. Curling fans would be familiar with her, third for Team Brown, and you know, she's slightly taller than Matt, and by slightly I mean by quite a large factor. So I've enjoyed over the years just chronicling the different ways that Matt tries to make himself appear taller in photos that he takes with her. It's kind of like a fun little game you can play on their Instagram.
So going from the hard run back to the soft run back here. And this is kind of the shot that these guys last year were making all the time.
That's really nice from Amos. Does roll a little bit out, so it will be chaseable for Matt Dunstone. But yeah, you're right. When they were world #1 for a good stretch there last year, this is the game now, right, Connor? Like if you don't have this shot, especially in the men's game, if you can't play the hack forward run backs and takeouts, you just simply aren't going to be successful here.
I think with the right weight we can.
Yeah, at one point the run back was, if you hit it, you were happy, and now it's played in as an aggressive shot.
First rock for Matt Dunstone, second end. Retornaz lying one.
Whoa, Pete. Whoa! Yeah!
Easy.
Heavy. Curl!
Clean.
Curl!
Love a little inside roll if possible. Not quite there, but really well thrown by
just
Matt
still
Dunstone.
a pound heavy, eh?
They lie one. Heard Matt say he thought it was maybe just a hair heavy compared to what they were expecting.
And that's the tricky part, right? Coming off an event you played last week where I was there too, and it was probably 14-7 to the tee line, but 5.5 feet of curl. So throwing those hacks on those boards when now it's maybe 3.5 feet of curl, and we just saw 15 to the tee line. That hack feels like almost like a heavy draw, and trying to get that dialed in first game of the event is you're going to have a couple of those that you throw a little bit too hard.
Tan così dal forward dentro. Metà forward, chiaro bisogna essere precisi.
E lo puoi fare tutte le
It's an interesting spot to, I think this is where you're kind of seeing the blank rule when Joel think about it, right? Because he knows if he hits it, the likelihood of him getting low is pretty rare. And if Matt hits it back, then the best he's getting is a single or probably playing a blank, right? So he's thinking about, is this an opportunity to score a deuce? I would argue this is hair aggressive.
It's aggressive for me, for sure. But like you said, it could be them thinking about the rules. Yeah, I think especially in the second end, you don't usually see teams get this aggressive this early. Because especially, too, the slash in off the yellow for Matt will be there. Like, this is a case where you almost have to be dead even with the yellow stone. Just if you're like an inch closer to the button, that's about exactly where you want it.
Yeah, and if Matt
not easy.
If Matt ever comes in and taps it and gets the hair low, then not the easiest deuce. But let's see if he puts it in the absolute perfect spot.
No pressure.
Linea buona. Solo velocità. Solo velocità. Linea perfetta, solo velocità.
Buona sei già. La deve tirare spazio,
Esatti line. 15.
Hai spazio.
Sì, la deve tirare.
Nothing at all from Armand and Mosaner, and that is certainly deeper than they would have liked it.
You can just throw in like back 8. Yeah, back 8.
Where you give him for draw was like right here, right?
Yeah. So we're not seeing Matt look at the slash here at all. Looks
back
like he
8?
thinks the chase
just
is
get
there.
it.
With the right weight, probably get
pretty close to nose, yeah. I think we're trying to roll this right here just so we don't cue that up.
That's not there. Double?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean this?
This one, yeah.
Oh, the ride,
yeah. Yeah, edge it. Yeah. I think edge 4 is going to be good. Like,
pardon me?
Edge 4 with back 8.
I wouldn't take any more than that.
Any more?
No. I think we
Do you want less then? This looks comfortable to the eye, I think.
I like it, but you throw it back in, I think it's great.
Okay.
That's EJ's nice way of saying don't throw it heavy.
Yeah, as a pretty close to a lifetime front-end player, you and me as well, you definitely develop those little suggestions. I thought it was notable there just how involved EJ was in the discussion. You know, this is only their second tournament together as an official team, and you know, seemed very comfortable giving his advice there. That's just that veteran savvy from EJ. So we'll see if Matt Dunstone puts it to good use here. His last rock in the second, trying to set up a potential force.
Easy.
Back four.
Yep.
Just back four.
Easy. Whoa.
Easy.
Whoa, this has to curl.
Curl. Just back four.
You're curl all the way.
Curl.
Ryan Harnden trying to bring this over. You can see they really got to get this one moving. You've got to move the red far enough. They move it far enough to lie two. Yes, they do. Great sweep from the Harnden brothers.
I think that's what you see with some of the top men's teams now is EJ gave him the subtle reminder, but if you watch Bruce or Brad Gushu or those guys, they're the best at never throwing it too hard and bringing in the maximum amount of margin they have because everybody's got such good sweeping.
Yeah, trust in your sweepers is a very vital thing. It's also just in curling, so often the pro side is going to be light. Right? That's almost always going to be the pro side miss. You'll have the odd time where heavy is the miss, but generally speaking, it's going to be light. So definitely helpful to get dialed into that.
Yeah, so here we go. So he played the aggressive draw on his first one, and kind of like we said, had to put it in the absolute perfect spot, or it was going to be a tough shot on his next. He does have a shot for two. But I don't think he would be wanting to throw a run double in the second end against the steal at two.
Oh, and the double's no picnic either. It's quite thin. So this is a big shot early on. Joel Retornaz, final stone. Not throwing a bullet at it. Looking for a delicate double. Does he have it? Does he have it? Does he move it far enough? No, he doesn't.
A little bit overdid it on the sweep.
Yeah, great try, but unfortunately the Dunstone Rock will hang around in the forefoot. They steal one.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
A little bit early. Hard line.
Well, Connor, a little unfortunate there for Joel Retornaz. I was a little bit surprised at the weight that he threw at that.
Hard as you can on this line.
Stone. I know that, like we said, it's a key weight for a lot of these teams playing that sort of control or less weight. But
17-7.
Thought maybe he could have given himself a little bit more margin for error with a little more weight there.
15-7. I got a 90.
Yeah, I think it's just, again, the second end of the first game of the event, maybe not exactly the easiest shot you want to be playing, right? So really good effort and just missed the line.
Yeah, certainly very, very close. So Matt Dunstone leads 2-0 here.
Buona 2+3, 2+.
Linea buona ancora.
Buona 2+3, velocità.
2+. Va Mattia.
A bit of a high center from Ryan Harnden and a bit of a high corner from Mattia Giovanella.
Sposta bene anche lui, per questo è quelli. 16. 6.
Draw made by Ryan Harnden and the follow called for Mattia. Does look like that one Ryan Harnden stone does have a little extra finish on. That one had a little bit at the end that we haven't really seen from the other rocks.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing now, like, with this being the third slam, teams get fourth slam. People really getting a good handle on the stones, and you see them pretty much, for the most part, same ways over and over with teams now, and they have a pretty good idea. That's a bit of a uh-oh.
You can put it back, if you want.
Put it up. I think so, right? Yeah.
Won't be happy with that.
We'll almost touch base next time.
Seemed like they weren't
Copy.
really thinking they were going to hit the guard, and then the last second did. So it's a pretty big miss.
Are you surprised Matt didn't leave that one up there?
I think with the ability of the runbacks, always taking away the red one from coming back in there isn't the worst idea. I think if EJ puts us in a good spot, you're going to see that yellow one.
How light?
Always better when the team's running your rock in as opposed to theirs.
Line's good. Little bit around.
Everything you got, Cole. Everything you got, Cole. Get it in, Cole. Keep going, Cole. You got it, buddy. Go, buddy. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
When he says his
Go,
name,
go, 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 go,
they start to
go,
say
go,
your
go,
name.
go, go.
Good space. Good spot.
Just say hard. I don't like this. I don't like to focus on it.
Just put me to work.
Go, John.
I used to play when I played with Gunner, he used to make me laugh half the time.
Well, because his voice would squeak a little.
He's like, everything you got, everything you got. I started laughing halfway down half the time. He'd end up being in front of me, throw the rock, and he'd beat the rock down the sheet and end up yelling straight into my face while I was sleeping.
Yeah, I had that from Brent Pierce too. He loved to follow the rock down and be right in your face. And how about that? Sebastiano Armand doesn't quite get all three, but certainly much better than it was.
Full 8.
Great shot.
Yeah.
I always used to love with Pierce, you'd get the, let's say you're sweeping a rock, real hard draw, and it comes up a hair short. Hard. Get a lot of that when the rock would just come up sharp. And I never knew if he was saying it towards himself or to me. Probably to me.
Definitely to you.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
Not much more.
Okay, go ahead,
You
then.
could sweep it tip to tail, but if it came up a foot short, it was my fault.
Last line. It's got to curl.
Copy, come pull.
Go, curl and go.
Go for distance.
Just go. Both go right to stop.
I always used to hate
Keep
too
going.
if the
Come
skip did say something like
Yep,
everything
yep.
you got.
Hard.
And then they would
Good.
say it for like multiple rocks in a row.
15-5.
You'd be like, look,
Girl.
I have everything I got like 4 times a game. Okay, so we can't be everything I got 3 times in the first day.
At some point, that line call loses.
Yes.
Solo 5 secondi.
Sì, 5.
If you want me to empty the tank, you get 3 to 4 opportunities to do that. So come up with a way of communicating that to me.
Linea buona.
So again, chatting about this with my team earlier. I think that the second position has sure changed so much.
No, linea no.
Rock roll where you might throw the
Esperamos.
run triple down the middle
Se larghi,
and
sì,
then
Venara
be
freeze.
expected to freeze on a
Giù,
down
allora.
here. So a lot of variation in the second shots now.
Giù, forte, giù.
Yeah, you used to be able to hide
Giù,
your
giù,
worst
giù,
player.
giù, giù, che buona. Giù che arriva, giù, 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 giù.
As much as it pains me to
No,
say,
sta bene.
you and I both
Vieni,
believe
ma-
the Leeds might be the worst player on the team.
Just freeze.
I definitely am
So
not
just
on
bump
the
it
top
here?
of my throwing ability.
Top 4.
What is it, your good looks?
It's, yeah, that must be it. I'll ask the Ram. It might be hair.
Yeah, right.
Hair's a hard thing to find in the curling world.
It is for sure. It is for sure. I've often thought that about Mark Kennedy, probably the best curler ever to keep most of his hair.
Little room. Line's good. Line's good. Close. Close line. Well then,
That could be Gunny's problem too. Maybe a little too much hair. That's why he hasn't had one yet.
Whoa.
He's going to need to start losing some of it.
Easy. Clean. Straight. Hard. Bounce it off. Quite good.
Really nice shot.
15.
A lot there. Retornaz still lies one.
Sì, da spaccare da verso l'altro mi piace.
But yeah, no, you're definitely right, Connor. There's just you just have to have every shot now. You know, there's just no position where you don't need to have that, even for Leeds too. Every curler has to be at their absolute peak now. You know, especially even in the slams, right? Like we used to talk about, there was easy games at slams. 15th in the world. The gap between 15 in the world and 1 in the world was a lot larger than it is now.
I think it's just the transition of becoming more of a professional sport.
Got to get this one by the guard. Just rubbing it. Almost unhappy with that. Felt like the sweepers maybe should have been on it a little earlier.
Shot!
Yeah. And this is starting to set up pretty nicely for Matt Dunstone here.
Same way.
Okay, line's a little tighter. Hard line. Hard line. Line's good. Line's good.
Stay down.
Clean.
Easy.
Yep.
Back 4.
Whoa. Clean. Yep.
Back 4.
Yeah. Hard. Right to it. Hard.
Great shot.
Ah, really good, Cole.
Two beauties from Colton Lott, and that's a lonely ruby, my friend.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of trouble now. It's going to be hard to see how he's going to score. He's going to be real careful that he doesn't leave himself a really hard shot for one.
Voleria quasi vedere la corner adesso. I think started tight. Pensavo qua at the beginning. È che è molto tirato. Perché è quellino off lì che lì, però anche al roll behind the corner. Ma che Dio il festi anche sulla prima non è tira pieno. Lì no. No, you sacrifice one, you sacrifice yours. Ben vistina. Se il fast questo è se stickers qua, anche se te la vergesti un po'. Anche se te la vergesti un po' non è la fine del mondo, perché tanto qua che aveva sempre una spalla. L'alternativa secondo me sono al freeze qua, però che vuoi giocare?
So what are the options here?
Secondo me che va terzo.
I think he's thinking about
metà scarsa al terzo.
hit and roll off this. I didn't see this one coming. Just playing the in off, it looks like. And you can kind of see as the game goes on, the Dunstones are playing the same shot over and over and over again, and doing with quite good precision, and the shots for Italy just getting harder and more difficult as the game goes on.
Yeah, going to the in-off here, maybe a little earlier than we think. This is a crucial shot for Amos Mosaner. And how about that? That is lovely.
I think field
I
just
do
off
think
the
it
edge.
does leave a double back for Matt Dunstone,
It
though,
should
unfortunately.
run straight. It should never fall, I think.
I'm hoping to hit it a hair thicker and go to
Okay,
the
give me a
yellow.
little bit of room. Try to hit anything less than a third.
Unlucky. Looked great.
Good shot. Really hard shot.
And unfortunately, they're both going to be gone in a matter of seconds here.
A little less, Colt. Yeah.
First rock for Matt Dunstone, third end.
Curl.
Looking for a thin double. EJ's trying to make this curl. You can't miss it. Okay, those go easy. They were panicking, Connor. What? No trouble. No trouble at all.
Never a doubt.
So Dunstone lying 3 without the hammer here.
Yeah, so again, kind of same thing as last time. He's got to make sure he gives himself something makeable for one. So looking for a nose here.
Noi dobbiamo restare che sopra già, eh?
Let's try and leave the shooter right on top of it.
Tu come la giocavamo perché la gira un po'. Ok, 12 mestre era. Mi pensavo di giocare così per un 12. Ok.
Comunque si muove un po' lì.
Sì.
First down here for Joel Retornaz, and still trying to get the engine running here. They've had a hard time generating with the hammer, and they need to get this one right on the nose. Got to get by that guard. Almost got on that. They almost flirted with that guard, but that is exactly as they wanted. Dunstone still lying the one, though.
A nice shot by Joel. I think Matt's just going to try to guard it and just hook it around that red one a little bit, so it's a hard run back.
No.
What do you think? You think if he makes this, he draws for one, or you think he tries something for two?
Well, what would be the shot for two?
The angle run on the side one? Seems hard.
It does seem really hard. It's not... it's not something I'd be thrilled about playing if I was Joel, but we have seen he's not afraid to take those shots on, so we'll see.
So really important here that Matt hooks us around the red guard a little bit and doesn't leave the nose one straight back, because I would say if that's available, he's definitely playing that.
Last rock for Matt Dunstone. He's trying to make this straight run back difficult for Joel Retornaz.
Line's good. Hard, guys. Hard. Keep going. Got to get underneath. Keep going. Hard each. Hard. Hard. Never off. Keep going. Finish it. Keep going. Good. Good. Good.
Yeah, it's exactly what they wanted, so I guess we'll see here, Connor, what Joel decides to do.
So he is going to play it.
Yeah, he's not afraid. I'd be a little bit nervous of not getting on the scoreboard yet. You miss this, you're down 3-0, fourth end. I don't know. I'd be inclined to try to take my one here. It's not the easiest draw either, though.
No, he's obviously feeling it. He wants to... He's played a couple of these shots already this game.
Yeah, he certainly wasted no time making the call. We'll see if he can make the shot. Final stone, Joel Retornaz. About a 10-foot angle run back. Sounds close. Sounds close. go far enough. Wow, what a shot from Joel Retornaz. Beautiful touch. It stops just in time. And just like that, we are all tied up.
The intern draw. That's what we talked about after. I did, yes.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared. I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
La linea buona. 2+3. Spazio.
Well, Connor, we maybe just saw one of the shots of the week there from Joel Retornaz on day number 1. The degree of difficulty extremely high. 10-foot angle run back with about board weight. Just hangs on. They score 2, and we've got a brand new ball game here.
Yeah, big end here now for both teams, right? And lots of momentum from that shot. And Matt's team, I would argue, has been kind of playing better at this point, and Joel's team just got a big spark. So let's see how this end goes, and if Joel can kind of keep it going, and if Matt's ready for them to start making a few.
Line's good. Line's great. Line's great, guys. Just go then. 15-6. Hit. Yeah. That's good. Good shot, Pete.
Well, we haven't seen Dunstone with the hammer for a little while here. We'll see what he can do with it now in the 4th. And is this the case, Connor, where you're already starting to think about the math on not being able to blank 2 in a row, or is that still a second half of the game type thing?
Yeah, I think it starts to come into play, right? You would love to have the hammer in 6.
Linea buona. Linea perfetta. Speramos. Mattia. 15 e mezzo. Anche io 15 e mezzo.
15 e 40 dammi questo.
47 io.
Bravo Mattia. Spingi il piano,
Sì.
Viaggia ancora.
Sì.
Questo deve far finire Ben però.
La seconda non estrema, la prima.
So another freeze upcoming for Ryan Herndon here.
Sì, no, bisogna giocare. No, se non giochi.
Cammi prima il pollo, ero lento e ti giochi.
Era un filmasso così,
70, difesa 76.
And very well made there from Ryan Herndon. So we'll see another follow from Sebastiano Armand as we update you on the other games happening across the sheets here at the Sleeman Center on this fine Tuesday evening. It is 2-2. Mark Muscadovitz tied with Ross White. It's been all Schwaller all the time against Ryland Kleider. Schwaller leading that one 5-1. Ryland Kleider still looking for their first win at a Grand Slam. This is their second one of the year. They qualified for the WFG Masters by virtue of winning the Tier 2 back in Charlottetown, but they also had enough points to make it into the Co-op Canadian Open in Nisku. But they are down 5-1 to the Swiss, and Brad Guju popping a 3 on Magnus Romsfjell in the 3rd. So it is Guju leading that one 3-2. All the games available on Home Team Live. And a little bit of a mistake there from Sebastiano, Connor.
Do you have enough to have?
Yeah, on a side that hadn't been played for a little bit. Hold the string.
Okay, just freeze it up.
So again, I would say advantage Dunstone through the front end stones the last couple ends.
Top four. Line's good. Top four. Clean. Yep. Clean. Yep. Hard.
Ryan Harnden trying to drag this one around the center guards. They're by the first one. Are they by the second one? Yes, they are. Wow, what a sweep from Ryan Harnden. And once again, a lonely Ruby in the forefoot for Team Retornaz.
Yeah, they just slightly over curled that one. Still pretty darn good. You're never going to complain when you're 3-1 in the house, but I think Matt's going to have to jiggle around those angles once this is made.
Linea buona. Stai lì Mattia. Sì. Già lì non sta, Vai Mattia. Vai Mattia.
They were trying to get it by that top yellow, but that's, I think, still a pretty good spot for that one.
Pretty darn good shot. Yeah, but double peel here.
Open that up.
Just whiskers it. Peel made, and I think guard maybe going back up here for Joel.
The angle wasn't great to get it across.
Perché le ocche spingere ancora qua. Se no devi giocare guardia ancora. Sì. Diamo guardia.
Yeah, I think you'll see him throw one more guard and then look at doing something in the rings.
Not without killing some reds.
Yeah, pretty much lose every
one rock and play. Yeah, try it once and then on your next draw side 4.
Guard going up now for Amos Mozaner. Looking for a 1.5 here. This looks maybe a little heavier than they wanted. So he's getting pretty close to the other guard that's already up. That might change the equation for Matt Dunstone.
Just trying to nose it?
Yeah.
Yes, I think they got caught there on the difference in speed of the two sides.
What weight are you seeing?
Well, like you said, already a bit of an adjustment with the straighter ice, that it's a little quick, but as you say, when you don't play that much on one side, you can get caught a little bit, especially I find too, and then maybe you're the same, Connor, when the ice is so quick, that's all you have in your mind is, okay, the ice is really fast, I got to make sure I don't overthrow it. And definitely it's when you then maybe switch to a spot in the ice where you do have to throw it a little harder, it's hard to get back into that mentality of not overthrowing it.
100%. Good shot by Colt. This is where it gets interesting, because to me this looks like it could be a blank, and there's 5 rocks in there.
Questo non è l'altra roba che vedevo prima che cosa la guardia. Sì.
Vado io, no?
Che roba. Sì, è che questa dopo spostare questa cava all'angolo. Penso devi giocare noi. Sì, secondo me devi giocare questo.
I think he's decided he's going to throw smoke at this.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what they were looking at exactly, but Yeah, I think you're right. Your prediction of this maybe looking like a blank could be accurate.
Se la xapa és baixa, per quarta interna, xapa la teva.
Has giocato di prima, sì. No, bene, nel senso
Yeah, the smoke is incoming from Amos. Oh, we got a little extension there too. This is cooking. Can they get all 3 yellows going? That only gets rid of 1. Matt Dunstone put the life of his knees on the line, protecting that from the back boards. I don't know how good that was for them.
No, I think he really wanted to hit that low. If he hit it low, I thought he was going to get at least 2 of the yellows, and it would look a lot better now. It's a great chance for Matt.
Either that or you play ours and
like,
and then he's just playing the double.
Make this one. Got to throw it with a 10-5 because might touch that over here.
Okay.
So hit and roll called here for Colton Lott, looking to get maximum separation.
I don't think this is the right roll.
Oh, Matt's changing his mind now. Colton's going to come take a look.
That's what I see. I just don't know where we roll this, and I don't want to disturb this in here, like if we're hitting this one. If we hit and roll here, what double does he have? Like if we hit and roll this one, he's to make any sort of double, he's coming off that. In all likelihood, we're nosing.
a triple depending on where you go.
Can he get underneath this red though?
Like this.
Oh, that way. Slice it. It's just if we do something like that, this is almost huge. Yeah. Unless we do something like this and knock ourselves under the corner. But what's that? Yeah, it just leaves in the same double, but we're in front.
But then he comes, doubles back.
Do we ever try and go soft in here? Okay. Like this one.
Like I gotta throw it.
Like if he's got to throw an 1/8 of a rock triple here, like shoot, dicey.
But what's the issue if we play this?
Right? Well, if we play this one, like if we don't get there, then we're queuing that right up.
Even if I say I roll a rock, like over here, it makes us double back, and we have a double.
Right.
Looking like
are we throwing this harder just so we don't move this somewhere bad, Colt? Like, are we throwing this with a 9-5? Because I don't think we want to move this right now.
Okay. Sure.
What do you see, Pete?
Seems like they don't like any of the options,
I was seeing 12-5
really.
with this one.
Yeah, whenever you go to the lead for his opinion.
So we throw 10-5.
You know things are dire.
More often than not, that one in the hole, you get to almost nose.
I think this is one of those situations where all the options are pretty good. It's just
9-5 or 10-5?
None of them are the best or excellent.
Yeah, trying to respect the fact that they don't want to leave them an easy triple or an easy double to get out of it. But
what do you like?
9-5, and then we can get a flatter roll over, I guess, and not touch that.
Ideally, we hang this up.
That's harder to read.
So I think they settled on trying to get both of these reds here, I think.
I think he's just trying to miss the middle one with the heavier weight and spread them out.
So that was the original call.
Yes. Back to the start. Just wasted 4 minutes for nothing.
It's usually how that goes, eh? Got to make it, though. And they don't get any roll at all, but they are still lying 2-3-4. I mean, the double is automatic. It's just whether or not the triple is there. I don't know. That's why they wanted Colton to roll here, so they didn't leave this double and maybe triple try for Joel.
Yeah, big shot here. Turn the end around. Even if he just makes the double, it's going to be hard for Matt not to leave him another one on his last one.
Yep. Whoa. 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 Two. Clean.
First stone, Joel Retornaz has the double. Does he have the third? Yes, he does. That went for fun. And unfortunately, that missed roll for Colton Lott does come back to bite them. Retornaz lies too. Great shot.
2/3?
Looks like a blank.
3/4?
Hey, you called it. You called it.
Roll onto the corner.
That was actually an easier triple than I thought. I didn't know they were lined up so good.
I'm elite. I've never heard of an easy triple.
Well, it's not like I was going to make it. When I say easy, I mean for Joel.
Easy draw to the top 4 foot, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay if you're back 8.
Yeah, I need a lot of room for error.
Maximum space.
So Matt Dunstone looking for the double back here with his first. Would love a roll underneath the corner guard if he can get it. This looks like it's right on the beak. And so unfortunately for Matt Dunstone, was looking at maybe a multiple score, is now looking like he's going to get forced.
Oddio, lo penso perché magari forse come va bene.
Com'è?
Sì. Penso. Dammi Jasper piena, non so vedere qualche di slori. Sì.
Magari Steelers.
Piacerebbe rollare, vedrei a voi.
Io mi dispiace, sincero.
Ne piace il roll?
Se mi guardano se il fa blank, ok? 10? Sì.
So they're going to try the roll right to the button.
Un po' di me?
Credo che ne sentirete giocare bene con diti. Buona porzione. Che bisogna fare la mezza, mi dico quasi.
Last rock for Joel Retornaz, just a hit to lie two. Would love to keep the separation here. Decided to roll instead. Very nice. This will leave Matt with a double. I thought for sure they wouldn't try the roll because of exactly what Matt said. You might have set up a double and blank. But Team Retornaz feeling themselves right now, making this shot substantially harder than if it was just an open hit for one.
In turn again.
Okay.
You heard Colton say there is no chance at a blank here, so does need to make both reds go. Final stone of the first half for Matt Dunstone.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Clean. Yep. Clean.
They like it out of the hand, and they like it in the house. One up on the board for Matt Dunstone. We're going to take a 3-minute break. Dunstone will take a 3-2 lead into the fifth.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work goal, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
pushing limits,
seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome back inside the Sleeman Center here in Guelph, Ontario for the WFG Masters Day 1 Draw 4. Matt Dunstone against Joel Retornaz. Dunstone leads by 1. Retornaz with the hammer here in the 5th end. John Cullen with you once again. Pleased to be joined by Connor Negevin this evening, and it's been, Connor, the first half of the game, really a tale of two halves. Matt Dunstone in control in the first and second, and even a lot of the third end, as we unfortunately, do we start with a hog? Yes, we do, unfortunately for Ryan Harnden, but really control of the game until Retornaz makes that shot in 3, and really had a great fourth end, and they're looking like they're in the ascendancy right now.
It's amazing the power of a little momentum. One great shot, and then all of a sudden the Italy boys start making everything, and here we are. I think they'd be very happy with the scoreboard after what was looking like going to be a rough night for them after the first two ends.
Due più. Esperamos la línea.
So we'll see what happens here, but as we said, an unfortunate hog to start the end for Ryan Harnden and a corner guard up for Joel Retornaz, and we'll keep an eye on if the double blanks come into play at all here. This has not really ever been close to having a blank end here so far, so it hasn't really mattered, but as you said earlier, Connor, the second half of the game, I think the teams are really going to start to pay attention to it.
Top of the logo here.
And it's always something to see. We saw it with Ryan's first one with the pick, and then a little bit light again on the corner guard. Anytime you have two exceptionally good sweeping teams, it's hard for the ice to stay for the full 8 ends. And starting to see, like, sometimes it break down when you have two big front ends work sweeping as much as they are tonight.
I think it's coming back a bit.
Yeah, certainly something we'll keep an eye on.
You just heard Ryan say, I think it's coming back a bit. They think the speed's coming off from that 15.5 that we were seeing in the first 4 ends.
Well, and sometimes too, Connor, I think, it's only a 3-minute break, but sometimes just letting the ice settle just for that little 3 minutes of time can make that much of a difference in the draw weight.
Right, like we haven't seen anybody get close to the house here.
No, you heard Matt with Ryan's second one wanted it at the top of the WFG logo. Wasn't really close in curling terms. He's about 4 feet short of that, and then Mattia trying to draw around his corner guard there and comes up well short. Yeah, sometimes it goes the other way. Usually when you play a 10-end game, you get a mop at the 5th end break. So then sometimes when you come back, it's actually faster. But in the Grand Slams, it's just a 3-minute break, no mop. And so sometimes that allows the ice and the pebble to seize up a little bit. I think we're seeing that here. This looks light as well from E.J. Harnden.
I think we got enough guards.
Yeah. We're in business as commentators. This is good for us. Maybe not ideal for the players, but again, like we said, Connor, when you get so dialed into, ooh, the ice is really fast, when all of a sudden it's not fast anymore, it's tough to make that adjustment.
Linea buona. Anche linea.
We'll see if Sebastiano can
Anche per linea.
navigate the slower ice here.
Continua dentro,
This also looks short.
Vai.
It's going to be in the house at least, I think. Just fully in the rings. This is starting to look like the first end back in the days before the pregame scrape or the pregame nip. You know, you go out in the first end, you just have 9 guards in front of the house because the pebble needed to be worked in still.
Yeah, it's interesting. You gotta really have to trust to throw it after you've been throwing it so light for so long.
So we'll see if EJ can adjust after his first.
Room right now. Top 4. Only if you have to.
Seems like Lawton Harnden like it as of now.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Come on, Colt. Come on, Colt. Yep, you're never off. You're never off. You're never off. Come on, Colt. Come on, Colt. Come on, Colt. Go.
Shot.
It's really nice. Yeah, really nice from EJ Harnden, and maybe a new era or a new moment of scary unlocked there, Con, as he, if you noticed, was saying hard Colt and then said hard Colton. Almost like when your mom uses your middle name when she's mad at you.
Never want to hear your full name.
Because I guess on your team you get called Con more than you get called Connor. So I guess when you hear Connor, you know something's going wrong.
Usually in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Tight half. Just above the logo.
So with that EJ Harnden covering the pin, we are going to see another guard here from Colton Lott. A reminder, we will be here with you all week long on Home Team Live. Every game, every draw will be streamed. Sportsnet will be joining us on Thursday. We will once again be having a commentary model where 3 of the games will have full commentary if you live in Canada. Sportsnet games will obviously have commentary, and then we'll have 2 games on Home Team with commentary. So access to the sport like never before here at the Grand Slam of Curling. As that just gets over the hog line for Colton Lott.
Yeah, pretty good chance now.
Ti piace? 11 ok. 11 mestre.
Worst part about playing these guys is trying to watch the line after they throw. Impossible to see around them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when Amos is in a crouch, he's taller than me. Yeah. I'm a little taller than you. Might be worse for you, that's for sure. Straight tap here for Amos, and that is lovely. Just an unfortunate miss from Colton, and really made them pay. Retornaz lying 2 with the hammer.
9-5?
Probably throw 12-5.
Chase incoming for Colton Lott.
Whoa. Curl. Clean. Curl all the way. Curl all the way. We're gonna keep going. Keep going, Pete.
Ryan Harnden trying to bring this one over. Need that red out of the house.
Drill.
And Dunstone does just get it through. Yellow is wide open.
In realtà Puoi neanche venire qua, se non viene vedere noi dovreste sempre farla con l'auto, Torlo.
You get that? Hear what he said?
Sì,
Those are Italian. Pretty good?
Terrible. I heard cinque, which I think it means 5.
Yes, qua.
I don't know why they'd be saying 5.
Trying to score 5.
Yeah.
Well, if they get all the rocks left in the rings.
Yep. They still only get 4.
Still in trouble.
So they need some magic here to score 5, I think. I'm sure it means something else, but I'm just not hearing it correctly. I don't know too many Italian words other than al forno, al dente, things of that nature.
You want to throw 9-5? No. Okay. 10-5.
So Retornaz again lying 2. This one is still open. Matt Dunstone could roll underneath cover, almost has to roll underneath cover here.
I think so.
Yeah, Matt needs a good hit and roll here to get out of this end.
10-5? Yeah.
Just getting a little flat.
Yeah.
Kind of hear Matt mention that he's just getting a little bit flat. Is kind of what we were saying about the speed of the ice and everybody coming up light.
Also the 4th game of the day too. That's a factor for sure.
Yeah, these guys would definitely be aware of that, and it's not typical for the evening draw to get a little bit flat by the last half of the game.
Yep, hard then. Hard.
Yes!
Hard each.
EJ on this right out of the hand. Oh, this is tight.
Gotta go.
Oh, does he have any of this? Oh, no. Don't see an outright 0 from Matt Dunstone too often. That goes right through the hole, and they are in some trouble. 5 still in play.
A 5. Che ne vedi a forse metà, allineata con questa.
Okay, so Cinque, they won at 5 in the house.
Sì.
We're like zone 5. Okay, so I know that. It wasn't totally crazy.
Non so se in tante altre. Quello non è neanche la fine del mondo.
Also, we were wondering who's on the bench with Ryan Fry. It's the new head of the Italian Curling Federation, Marco Mariani, taking over from Claudio Pescia. Marco played in the 2006 Olympics with Joel, and also coached China at the 2022 Winter Olympics.
So just trying to find a way to leave Matt the hardest double possible, but also a double that would leave Joel a nose hit for 2. So trying to lose one behind the corner guard here and push the other one over so that Matt can have a double, but it's going to leave an easier shot for 2 points.
First rock for Joel Retornaz in the 5th, looking to apply the pressure to Matt Dunstone after that miss. Just wants to tick this red, roll behind the corner.
I think he'll be really happy with that.
Yeah, that's quite good.
It's like 2/3.
Matt's going to try to hit it a hair low and get behind those reds over there. Definitely a pretty difficult shot.
2/3 is good, eh?
2/3 is really close, yeah.
2/3?
I'm going to guess he's throwing it pretty hard. Last rock for Matt Dunstone. Trying to avoid giving up a 2. Needs a double and roll.
Close. Whoa. Curl! Curl!
He's got the double. Does he have the roll? No, he doesn't.
So mission accomplished there for Italy.
Yeah, unfortunate for Matt. Throws his corn broom in the air in disgust. This is an open hit for Joel for 2. And as we said, Connor really has been the Italians in control for quite some time now. Took over with that big shot from Joel in the 3rd. And this is a much easier shot for 2 here in the 5th. Final stone.
Clean, 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 è buona. Yep.
Buona velocità.
Clean.
Clean. Buona velocità. Solo
Via. Clean.
Seems as though they like it, and indeed they do, right on the beat. So Retornaz will put 2 on the board, and they will take their first lead of the game, 4-3.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms? Light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
Saranno già adesso, ci saranno ancora. Quant'è quel punto sulla manetta? Questo a 5. No, il mio è a 4 e 5. 15. Se vado dentro il boccia? Se vado dentro il boccia? Ah, che spusta merda che qui. Non so, è che non vuoi neanche tirare. No, non boccia. Adesso il fide pusai.
A great 5th end for Joel Retornaz in complete control. They put 2 on the board. They have the lead, and now we're in that all-important 6th end, Connor. And as we've said all game long, maybe a little bit more important now if you're Matt Dunstone, as you really cannot afford to blank 6 here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think this will be an interesting end because you might actually see Joel lean towards finding the blank here because it puts himself in a really good spot where he knows that Matt can't blank 7.
Yeah, we saw this exact scenario play out this afternoon with John Epping and Brad Jacobs. Brad was able to force John into the blank in 6, and John took it. You know, there is that other sort of decision you'd have to make if you do get to a point where you would, if you get to a point where you have just like an open hit for the blank, do you blank or do you take the 1 so that you know that you may have a chance to get the hammer in 8? That's a decision.
Yeah,
Pardon me, for sure.
Yeah, I think definitely, obviously, seeing Matt throw the corner for the first time.
Go when you can. Yep.
He's going to want to have some action this end.
Keep going. Okay, good. Chop it.
So a big gap starting to establish itself between Yannick Schwaller and Rylan Kleider. Another 2 in the 5th end for Schwaller. They lead Rylan Kleider 7-2 in the 6th. Kleider with the hammer. Yannick Schwaller been one of those teams just sort of stealthily the number 2 team in the world. I think if you asked a lot of people, they know Bruce Mowatt's number 1, but they might have a different answer for who they think number 2 is. But Team Schwaller's had a great year, just so consistent, finding their way into a lot of semis and finals over the course of the season.
Yeah, you might be thinking you're happy to play against them until you actually do, and then it's not so fun.
Yeah.
You can go. Hard then.
2 guards up.
Hard.
Mattia Giovanella around the center, and it'll be a freeze here for Ryan Harnden.
Line's great.
EJ and Colton leaning on this one. Looks like Ryan might have pulled the string a bit here. They're trying to drag it. And it just will not quite get there.
Se piazza una guardia alta, gioca sempre questo per noi.
Sì, non è che in guardia giù a Friese lo lì.
6, 5, 6.
A passare l'altra, la vera?
Sì, a passare.
6?
5, 6. 6 le tiro.
So I think they decided to freeze it on here.
I think you're right.
And it's going to be one of those things where it's a little bit tricky for Matt to blow everything up. Because if he does and Joel Pleo's the corner guard, then he might have no option to blanket. A little bit strong here.
Yeah, it was close to back 12 weight there from Sebastiano. Wonder if maybe the ice has quickened up a little bit again here.
Top 4.
Okay. Line's good. T. Room.
Line right now.
Line's great.
Back
Room.
4. Back 4.
Big shot here from EJ. This can kind of turn the whole end around.
Whoa. Curl. Curl.
This also sounds a little heavy.
Hard pull. Hard pull.
Heard Colton say back 8.
Okay, it's pretty good.
It's not terrible. Not exactly the result they were looking for.
Yeah, it's not so bad unless he gets low on this and freezes it perfect. Then you're going to be in a little bit of trouble.
5, 6. Buona questa.
Linea un po'. Linea un po'. Linea un po'.
6. 5, 6.
Buona.
Buona questa. Stai lì. 6. Linea. Linea.
T-line.
Oh.
T-line.
Cina. 6.
T-line. Mini bounce.
Oh. Giù. Giù.
That's a really nice touch from Sebastiano. Freezes it right on the corner of the Dunstone yellow.
Like that.
Mattia dragging that over nicely, and that's
Good speed.
Just here.
yeah, really good. Great angles now for Team Retornaz.
Speed's good here.
I think it'll be kind of like your draw as last time. I think it'll be.
Was hot. Whoa. Curl. Clean.
Whoa.
Straight.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. Curl. Whoa.
Through the hole.
Straight. Hard roll. Hard.
Roll it. Whoa.
Really good
Very
shot.
nice from EJ. Great touch.
Però mi dà la soglia lì, non importa.
Sì.
Gli terzi. Non è male.
I would say just as important as this event is for the Canadian teams at the long break, it's probably very similar for Joel. Not a whole lot to play in after this for them. And they haven't exactly had the same season as last year, for sure.
Yeah, they've yet to make a final this season. They've qualified in most of the events that they've played in, but have not been able to find their way into a final yet. Last year, they won a couple slams and were no stranger to finals throughout the season. You don't get to world number one without some wins. And yeah, they've stopped short in the semifinals at the Shorty in Cornwall, in Sault Ste. Marie, at the Canadian Open in Nisku. Nice hit and roll there from Amos. And, oh no, that's it. Yeah, 3 semifinals. I wrote down the same semifinal twice. I was so excited about it.
Same shot.
That was in the Sioux. They lost the semifinal to Matt Dunstone. Dunstone would go on to win that. That's their home event there in Sault Ste. Marie. Ryan Herndon putting that one on, the Henderson Medal Fall Classic. I believe you guys had a nice little run there as well in the Sioux.
Yeah, it's a great event. They do an awesome job.
Go 5. Yep.
So another chase through that same hole for Colton Lott.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Clean. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Clean. Yeah. Gotta go. Gotta go.
Ryan Harnden leaning on this one. Got to get it by everything by the top. That's exactly what they wanted. Nice shot from Colton. Dunstone lies too.
An interesting call here. He could potentially play that yellow double, but you hate to throw it and never touch one of your own.
Quarta la caratteristica giusta. Lei perché non mi sta arrivando a freeze qua? Non so se arrivano a freeze. Tutti arrivano a freeze.
Just getting on to half of it, right?
Could be one for Fry, maybe.
So we're just getting in front of it so we can't make the pick.
Yeah, lots of time left on the clock for both. And look at that, Connor. That's the coach's eye right there.
They always call timeout when you have no clue what to do. When in doubt, bring somebody else out and blame them.
Yeah. It's a great call.
I think it's a good opportunity to try that double if you're seeing it.
So Ryan Fry actually not coming out for the timeout, or okay, he is now.
He was just sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. His alarm went off. He's coming out now. I think he wasn't sure if the timeout clock had actually started yet. So he was waiting for that.
This one, we knows he cannot nose, otherwise we might have this double. So he's got to roll.
Dopo, se faz nose, e fa nose, dopo tipo di scalare questa.
No. Yeah, and what if we roll just here? He can't anyway.
Now that we have the double, what's he playing? If we make the double, is he trying to chase and roll?
Doppia è fine.
Okay.
I like the nose personally.
Okay.
And then?
And then we see what he does. I think he'll try to hit and roll. We hope he half rolls and then you make the double.
Okay.
If not,
no, la doppia è bella in quarto.
we can pick the one.
Agree.
There's a good point there by Fry. He's just saying if we do play the nose hit on the side one, it doesn't leave a lot of room for Matt to make the perfect shot. He can roll it buried, and if he does, it's a very good shot. But if he rolls it a little too far and leaves the pick on the back one for red to lie too, then you'll see Joel go after that. And if he doesn't roll it far enough, then Joel's going to have a double back to potentially lay a couple buried. So big shot here, and if he puts it in a good spot, it puts the pressure on Matt.
So big shot for Amos Mosaner.
Clean, clean.
Through the hole, they just want to hit it right on the nose, and it will roll a little more than they would have liked, but I think that's still pretty good. Dunstone still lying one.
Still puts a lot of pressure on Matt to make a pretty perfect shot.
This is what I see.
Yeah, I think I agree with Matt. I think he's got
back-to-back timeouts, baby.
Timeout.
Another team looking for someone to blame.
So who goes out? Does Jeff go out? Does Kinger go out, or does Caleb go out, or all three? Or they flip a coin?
Caleb's going out. That's who usually goes out.
Just if we got to keep our shooter around.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Yeah, then it's like a roll here.
Yeah.
Make this hit and roll to the back button. Hopefully this cues up into here, right, so we can't play it. And I think I got a piece of this to make a half waiter on my first. Maybe.
this is what the best teams in the world are so good at.
I think we're just trying to roll it right in
thinking
behind
about
the button then, right?
what shot are we playing now, and then what are they going to make, and what do I have to make 2 shots, 3 shots later. So really trying to just figure out how the rest of the end's going to go here.
I just don't know what we do in here if he picks it.
I like the roll.
Like even if we.
I think you'd sooner overroll than underroll, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, you underroll over here. He just plays it down.
Yeah. Try and roll it right. I mean, right here is.
Like Matt, you got a good chunk of that rock.
Okay. What way do you see in?
We're playing just the roll, right?
I think we have to stick the shooter around.
I think it's 11-5.
11-5?
Yeah.
What's that?
Hack will.
Yeah, we're not.
12-5 will give us a steeper roll.
Yeah, I don't think you need it though. Like,
no.
I think if anything, you want to roll too far into theirs.
Yeah.
So playing the roll to hopefully queue up the double to jam on the back 8-foot one, so that he can make an aggressive shot on the next shot after that. So really thought this out well.
So both teams down a timeout. We'll see if Colton can roll to the desired spot. Take advantage of the slight mistake from Amos.
Clean, light, yeah, yeah. Low, clean, low, curl, 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 curl.
Matt doesn't love this. And indeed, it does overroll.
Good.
It's not bad, though, I don't think.
I think that's a pretty good shot.
It's in there for third shot.
Se il fin, che galo glielo.
No, questa la vecchia.
No, beh, ma se la ciappa un pel così,
Si cava tutte le sue, no?
No.
Sì.
Se mi fa questo.
Sì.
La ciappa un pel così.
Sì.
Questa la ven qua.
Sì.
Resta rincontrei. Resta rincontrei anche.
No, ma cos'è che volevi fare?
No, dico, se noi giochiamo questo e il gioca con slash lì,
sì.
che la ciappa giusta,
No,
fa questo
infatti,
qua.
non è il tiro, sono mica quelli.
Ok, sono d'accordo allora.
Se proprio pick di questa quasi, là che non.
Non la faccia piccare
Freeze?
questa. Freeze, non so neanche se ne serve perché dopo la
quelle
messa di
che sono
alta
comode.
tires così.
No,
Lì vedo la guardia. Quello va poco lì.
So what are the options they're looking at here, Con?
Probabile che lo gioca perché lo
Yes, I think they're looking at trying to freeze another one in there on the same angle. Kind of putting it, or putting it right on the button, it's looking like, so that Matt can't hit it. So if they put a top 4 and freeze it right on the angle, it's a great shot. If they ever happen to go by it and put it on the top of the button, it's also pretty darn good. Matt's not able to hit it on that angle that he's now created with that little bit of an overroll from Colton. So that's why he was a little bit upset about that, is anything on that left side of the sheet, kind of in and around that button area, sure going to be hard to get out now.
As they continue to deliberate, we do have our first final. I believe it's a 10-2 win for Yannick Schwaller. The scoreboard showing 9-2, but I believe they stole 3 in the 6th. In any event, it was a walloping, so Yannick Schwaller will improve. Yeah, there we go. Fix the scoreboard. 10-2. Yannick Schwaller improving to 1-0. Rylan Kleider will start the event 0-1.
Guardia alta, è che il che tirerà, sono la sua guardia secondo voi.
Over on sheet A, Mark Muscadovitz just stealing 1 against Ross White. So Muscadovitz now leading that one 5-2. They're playing about to play the 7th. And Brad Guju and Magnus Romsfjell exchanging crooked numbers in their game. It's 5-4 Guju leading. Romsfjell with the hammer, they're playing 6. Both of those games also available on Home Team Live, of course. And Joel went all the way to the hack, and now he's back again.
Just trying to plan out the next couple shots here, and he is just thinking, went down to the hack and had a look and didn't think that Matt had enough of that top 4 rock to be able to hit it out. So he's just going to pick shot rock here and lay 1 and let Matt make his move from there.
Yep. Whoa.
First stone here for Joel Retornaz. Does make the pick, but loses his own in the process.
And really didn't want to kill that back red if possible. Now if Matt makes any noise in there, it's looking a little more dangerous.
You ever freeze for now?
Good. Then what can you play?
Yeah, it's tricky. Tricky to lose that back one. Does bring a potential multiple into play, but that red one that shot still looking pretty well protected. It's most likely going to take Matt 2 shots to get at it.
I think freeze.
Yeah, I agree.
He guards it, and then we play that. Yep. Does it ever peel? Make sure we score here?
No, I think this is a good opportunity.
Yeah, so you kind of heard Matt kind of talk us through what he's thinking. So he's going to put one on the red, and he says if he freezes it on and leaves it so it's showing half open, that means he thinks that Joel has to guard it, and if he does have to guard it, then he's going to have the angle run for a
What if we
mid-full.
throw it, like, can we ever throw it thin and, or throw it thick and push it in?
Could, yeah.
Like, this brings steel into play.
It does.
This we're probably always going to score.
Yeah, you're probably going to have a run because he's just going to hit and roll.
Am I ever just playing this?
So this is where we kind of get into that analytics conversation where we get to those crunch ends, the 5, 6, 7, where so much of the momentum can change and so much of the win percentage can change just by taking that extra risk. And Matt knows that he still has a very good chance of winning this game, that if he just doesn't give up a steal this end. And he's kind of walking through, if I do play a slightly defensive shot, well, I might lose the opportunity of scoring a mid-full. I guarantee us an opportunity not to give up a steal. And he's just kind of weighing the option in his head whether he thinks it's a good enough chance for me to break this game open with a 3, or if I just need to make sure that I have a score of 1, and if I do get a miss, I make sure that I go on the scoreboard and it's not going to be a steal. So that's what he's looking at doing now. So it's really well thought out, and it just shows how much that analytics part of the game is really important and has been such a big part of these Grand Slam of curling and all these top level teams really focusing on how to kind of keep ourselves in a position where we're going to have a chance in the last 2 ends to win the game.
How much weight?
I'm going to throw firm.
Okay.
Matt did say at one point he didn't mind throwing the peel. EJ didn't love it, thought this was an opportunity to score a multiple, but as you said, Connor, the safer call probably to peel this red one, so that's what they're doing here.
I think he's trying to make a soft little run back and make the perfect shot here.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Just like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, very nice.
Interesting, right? Because now he can make the double, and what do we do about this blank rule?
Yeah, I guess, it could be the exact decision we were talking about at the start of the end. My apologies for missing the call on that one. That was more exciting than I was giving it credit for. Really nice shot from Matt.
Yeah, it's a great shot. And Matt's unfortunately not going to be super happy with that result. It's one of those ones, if one of your uncles made it in league curling, you'd get a mass email about probably. But he really wanted to stick that around and not leave this double.
Forward this curling shot to all your friends for good luck.
Yeah.
Last rock here for Joel Retornaz, trying to make the 2 Matt Dunstone rocks go away. Did they oversweep it?
Wow.
Yes, they did. So Amos was on, off, and just maybe those little strokes from the 6'7", 6'8" giant affecting the rock's trajectory, and so Matt will have the open draw for 2 here. That's a huge mistake from Joel Retornaz.
You can kind of see the frustration on everybody's face that they know how big of a shot that was, especially with the no blank rule for the 7th end coming up here. It's a big swing.
Get it running.
Yeah.
Definitely slower.
Yeah.
And one of those things when you're hot like Matt is, tend to kind of go your way.
Hey, things tend to go your way, that's for sure. I don't know what that's like, but it sounds cool. So final stone for Matt Dunstone here in the 6th. Needs just a little better than 12 foot to score 2.
Line's good. You got the back if you need it.
All you guys. Line's good.
And the Brush brothers will steward that one down the ice. No mistake made for Matt Dunstone. 2 on the board. They take the lead back, 5-4.
44, Matt. 44, yeah.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
Well, it's been a well-played game for both teams, but there has been some crucial misses on the skip stones that have cost their teams points on the board. Joel Retornaz, the latest there in the 6th end. Trying for a double, jams it, gives up a 2 to Matt Dunstone. They now lead 5-4.
Line's good, guys.
Yeah, so I always find these ends interesting because you kind of get to know the teams and what they want to do, right? And if Matt's more comfortable being down 1 with the hammer and more easily giving up a 2 because he would prefer to score 2 coming home, or if he really wants to try to force and be and let Joel have a potential for a blank here and score 2 coming home. So kind of get to know the teams a little bit, and I would say that Matt is one that always likes to have that last rock in his hand, and it'll be interesting to see how this end plays out. And you'll kind of see no corner guard from Joel this end because he's okay with having a blank this end. He'll get it. He'll take the 2 if Matt gives it to him, but he's not going to push for it. And I would say as a lead man, that top 12 one, that would be considered a pretty big miss in the 7th end.
Yeah, no question. It's been a bit of a struggle for Mattia here all night. Hasn't quite had draw weight dialed in. Ryan Harnden has certainly been the better man of the 2 of them tonight, although he has also missed a few with the ice being a little tricky. Did also have that pick and hog in the 5th.
Line's good.
So by Mattia being a little bit light, it kind of just creates the opportunity to lob one back there and create the freeze game that might end up leading to a force, which is obviously what Matt's looking for.
Curl. Great job, Pete.
Very nice from Ryan Harnden. Makes Mattia pay for that mistake.
Linea buona, 6. Sì. Di andare in linea. Vai in linea, di andare.
Perfetto, Alex sta.
High line. Continua.
4-5.
Tira Rama che ce l'hai.
Continua Rama che buona. 4, 3-4.
And short again for Mattia Giovanella.
Not going to like that. He kind of staggered his own rocks there. You're going to see Matt loop another one around, and then they're two or 3 shots away from kind of getting at the ones in the middle.
Yeah, that's a tough spot for that. Staggers both, and EJ Harnden now really good chance to apply some pressure.
Top 4. Take it from me, Ryan.
Hard line. Hard line.
Come on, Top 8.
Hard line.
This looks a little light as well.
Light.
Don't want to move that red and line it back up onto the back yellow. It's going to be close.
And Joel doesn't see it. Thinking Sebastiano might be able to get all 3 of these yellows. He has been on point with these run backs tonight so far.
Per farla dritta là che va piena. Sora non la passa perché è la rossa. Non mi dispiace questo? Se gioca in questo, la stica qua non è la fine del mondo, ok?
Dopo comunque le angolate
L'unica roba c'è che va piena non la va piena.
Per fare, no, però la può sticare qua.
Smash allora. Dai.
No, la piegata avanti.
Sì, ciao. Ci vuoi due, proprio tutti e due.
Per piena
allora.
Ok,
sta tranquillo, questo però,
mi piace tutti e due, ciao Mattino.
3/4 alta.
Ok.
Some discussion there, but I do believe they are chasing the triple here. Trying to make this one curl. Got one, got 2, and jams it on the nose, but that's certainly a lot better than it was.
Pretty darn great shot.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Just capping this yellow.
What do you think? Halfway?
Another guard here for EJ.
You can go
tight up.
High as you can on this line.
All right.
Don't really love the line out of the hand here, sounds like.
Halfway. Hold it.
Looks like it's over curling.
Line's good. Stay close.
Just kind of got caught a little bit deeper, a little bit tight at the start.
Vedo il motivo sinceramente.
Che ti piace?
Singola o splittare quelle lì davanti con il gas c'è sulla rossa qua.
La gommesa.
Sì.
Singolo.
Sì. Clean.
So just a straight peel here for Sebastiano.
Sì, in realtà finché le gambe on angle.
Questa per 3 alla finanza. Qui che vedeva adesso era sbloccarle.
And we'll see another guard go up for Colton Lott.
Thirds, halfway. Good line. There, guys. Little bit of rope. Halfway. Line's good. Line's good. Line's great. Halfway. Line right now.
Yeah, again, just kind of playing a little bit of cat and mouse with each other here.
It's a finish.
Joel knows that right now he has that angle run for 3 and would probably take that on.
Good. Shot, Colt.
Matt knows that Joel is okay with blanking, so he thinks he's going to be peeling these guards, and they're just kind of going back and forth to who's going to make the first move. Because the reds are lined up to always hit that yellow, Joel knows that Matt can't make a play on them without taking out his own rock, so that's why you see him just straight peeling right now.
It's made by Amos, and we'll see the guard up again. We will be back with you tomorrow, 8 a.m. local time. That's 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific if you're a specific type of morning person / sicko. I will be back on the call We'll see how awake I am. Probably won't be great.
You're going tonight, tomorrow morning, hey?
Yeah. Taking one for the team tonight. Brent was originally on the schedule, but it would have been his third game of the day, so I thought, you know what? I'll be a team player. Without really considering, usually the morning draws in the slams are 8:30 a.m. There's something about that is, even though it's only a 30-minute difference, feels a lot more palatable than
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Aggressive,
it's
yeah.
Nasty.
So, kind of what we chatted about there, trying to play a little bit of cat and mouse, and Joel's now talking about, okay, do we split these and lay 3-1 in the house and take our chances of a big end?
Yeah, Retornaz is not fully in time crisis yet, but they're getting closer. 3:30 on the clock and only one timeout. Okay, so they are going to use their timeout here, which is going to make their 8th end a little tricky. I think to your point, Connor, they just maybe want to make sure with Coach Ryan Fry if this is the right time to go into the house with that guard being a little bit higher.
Sì, quello. Resta una guardia, un po' un kid, non è male, te fa freeze, no, se giocare nel freeze bisogna giocarlo qua. No, non mi piacciono capire qua. Perché? Io non te pulsare i due lati. No, io non volevo che giù a pochino, sì,
questo se la c'è fine fine. Qua sempre.
Sì.
Do you think it's always dragging, eh?
Always.
Yeah, so when they talk about a dragging, they're saying it's not going to hit the yellow if they hit it too much on the left side of the rock, of the top 12 rocks. They're too close together. So trying to figure out the right way to move those rocks, but still kind of keep one tucked away where they can lay 3-1 and Matt has a tricky shot.
With the outer, no. We're thinking, like, if we want to give it a shot to hit our own half.
With half?
You stick there. It's aiming to here.
Ma so giocarla pian?
Non la copes però, eh.
No, pian da attaccare che la resta dentro con 3.
Sì, magari nel
Do we ever want to split this?
Do
we ever want to split this? Like, roll and please.
Those are your 2 shots. It's either the freeze or the split.
Magari split ne dà qualcosa, eh.
Magari ne dà vergentolati.
So Fry did a good job there of just simplifying it and just saying these are 2 shots. You can choose the freeze or you can choose between the split. But having any other conversations about any other types of shots, he didn't believe was useful. So trying to expedite the process here for the Retornaz team as they are getting a little bit tight for time.
Yeah, they're going to be down around 3 minutes by the time Amos lets this one go. And with 0 timeouts, that's not going to be ideal.
14,5, 14,2 anche.
Staffa!
Backline staffa!
Backline!
They opted to go for the split, so trying to lay 3-1 in the house.
That's very nice from Amos.
Great shot.
It's a perfect roll behind the corner guard and taps that red one almost to frozen. Dunstone is still shot, but definitely precarious, that single yellow in the house.
What's he have if you make this freeze?
This intern freeze? Yeah, we could intern freeze.
What's that?
Could intern freeze.
Like even if you get a top 8 around there.
Yeah. How much does he have of that red? The top 12 one.
It's almost fully buried.
Quarter. Yeah, I just. What's he play for the back
nose
four?
on it, it's not good, right?
Probably gonna try to get to it and line it up, right? Try to get to as much as he can see and bump ours back.
Yeesh.
Think?
Well, he can hit it.
Dunstone, the further away from the house he got, the
Like if he taps
less good he was seeming to feel about
Like there's some
the potential
If
options.
anything, if we go here, I'm more scared of like this.
Yeah, he's on
Yeah, so they're trying to avoid him, Joel having the run back for more than 2 points. So where do they put another yellow rock that kind of protects that?
Timeout.
And so we're going to see the next timeout used for Matt Dunstone. Caleb Flaxey going to come out and take a look here. Matt Dunstone has a little more time on the clock, 4.5 minutes, but also not a ton of time.
Like, this is his side,
That's
right?
what he's waiting for.
Everything is, the only shots are on this side of the ice.
Okay. If we go here.
Like, even if you were to somehow, like, go, like, here.
Yeah,
you just
like.
gotta make sure you're buried too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't be boom, so he goes. Thinking freeze? Well, he doesn't. We're thinking if we go here, he could make. He plays the same in-turn across and Q's makes that double. Like, well, if we get it into here for sure. Like, I don't know what good he has up here right now. Like, even if we get to here. Like, I don't know what good he does with any sort of weight on a tap. Like, I don't know if he can play this on his first.
Even if you're full back 4 buried, it's pretty back 8 here. Yeah. If you get right behind it, it's really good.
And if we just make it again, if he makes
right?
Okay.
I think I'm into this.
Okay.
Yeah, so trying to create some space between the two yellows, just so if he does make the
Just
run
off the
back,
handle.
that they can draw again.
What'd you get on my?
Hey, you heard him say back 8-ish. They're not trying to lie 2 necessarily. Just trying to out-count the Reds that are in the 12-foot.
You want same weight as that?
I think so.
I think they're happy with lying first and third here, to your point, Connor, wanting some separation between those yellows.
Thinking that 40-45 split for you?
This kind of goes back to what I said right at the start of the end, where Matt in particularly likes having the hammer coming home. So giving up a deuce for him is actually, in his mind, a completely fine scenario. He's totally fine with having the hammer, trying to get 2 coming home, because he's done it lots before, and it's something that he likes to do. So he's willing to play a little bit more of an aggressive shot and throw these really important draws this end, and knowing that as long as I make him in a small area or in an area that where Joel only has a shot for 2, I'm okay with that.
This looks light. Ooh.
Don't think he's going to be happy with that, especially if he can get both those yellows.
Certainly looks like he can. I think it might have gone just a smidge too far. I think he can get them both.
And that's kind of the opposite side of it, right? Matt kind of was playing to do exactly what he wanted to do, but if you ever do miss, you gave the opportunity for Joel to kind of keep lobbing them in there, right?
Yeah, that's unfortunate miss for Matt Dunstone. They've been having some trouble with that out-turn side of the sheet. And been light a few times. We'll see if Retornaz can make him pay his first here in 7. Ooh, does that yellow go far enough?
Ooh. Just clip the back side of it, so that's a big
huge
miss.
break for Matt. Yeah, just caught the back side of that red stone, took the weight off that yellow, and that yellow out counts 2 of the Reds in the house.
It's a couple times they've been sweeping straight, and they've just hit it just a little bit too much, kind of what we've been chatting about. We're just a little bit straighter than maybe what we're used to seeing, and they haven't made the adjustment on the line calls. Matt's got to be careful here, because he will come off the red if Matt puts it on the button. There's a shot for 4. So you kind of got to put this in the top of the 8-foot and make sure that Joel can't come off that side red one.
Last rock for Matt Dunstone. This is a doozy. Has to put this in a good spot to make sure he doesn't give up any more than 2.
Same weight.
Just can't set up a double.
Line's great.
That's good.
Felt like more.
Where is it?
Hop forward.
T-line almost.
Go back in.
Oh, get it back here.
So you can hear Matt calling the audible right now. He doesn't want to leave that half rock shot.
Hop forward.
Don't leave it on the button.
He needs to sit. I know, guys. He's gonna come off. That's it. That's it. Sit.
Very close.
Yeah, Matt doesn't seem to love it. Thinks maybe the
Joel just thinks that he's just going to take his two. It looks a little bit too hard. So mission accomplished.
Yeah. Well, again, one of those situations you don't have a ton of time on the clock. You probably can't take a look at all the angles like you might like to. You can see all the coaches obviously have the home team stream on that laptop.
They're all pointing to it like maybe it's there.
So yeah, just not enough time to sort it out for Joel Retornaz. So this is a shot for two.
Clean.
Can't roll too far. Can't roll too far.
Again, just caught on sweeping it straight for too long.
Yeah, unfortunately, you heard Mattia call curl, but it was just a bit too late, and so Retornaz settles for one after maybe looking at four. And Matt Dunstone will have the hammer. We're tied up. Don't go anywhere.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
Linea buona. Linea un po' stretta per tre. La messa lenta. Ok. Sola, rama sola.
So here we are, final end, all tied up. Matt Dunstone with the hammer here at the WFG Masters. And just a little bit unfortunate for Joel Retornaz. Just not quite getting enough of that yellow Matt Dunstone rock. Rolls about a half a foot too far. And that could prove to be very costly here.
Kind of feels like sums up the last little bit for both Italy and Dunstone, right? Matt finding a way to win and Italy just finding a way to lose.
Yeah, this, well, a little heavy from Ryan Harnden, so an opening mistake for Team Dunstone. Yeah, it's certainly no done deal. Definitely steals available here. Teams have had opportunities on both sides to get steals set up.
Keep that, and the no-tick rule certainly helps that, especially in the men's game.
Sempre spazio. Giù, del Nargio. Giù, Rama.
Yeah, and that one slides in the house. So a couple mistakes back-to-back from the leads here. And again, we have talked about Mattia really struggling this game. Has not been able to find his draw weight and has also mixed up a few line calls.
Oh, curl. Clean. Straight. Whoa, clean.
Can't touch the center one here.
Curl. Curl.
Okay, now they're curling it over.
Take this one each. Take the red. Great shot, Pete. Very good.
And gets rid of the red. So Dunstone lying two, only one guard up for Joel Retornaz. Not the ideal scenario for the team from Chembra, that's for sure.
No, so definitely looking to keep as much space as possible in between these two guards for as long as they can, especially with the hitting ability of EJ and Colton.
La linea è buona per 3. Buona velocità 3.
Linea perfetta.
Linea buona per 3. 3. Parlenta, vederla da qua.
Non è male.
Giù, giù, giù.
Distanza.
Vai, vai Mattia, vai, continua. Continua Mattia, continua, senza paura, senza paura. Okay.
I think they left them a little bit of an angle here, so this will be coming in hot.
Yeah, if EJ can make this, it's going to be a long way back for Retornaz.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hard, hard, hard.
And how about that? Even draws a swear word out of Matt Dunstone. Liked how good that one was. Very well done by EJ Harnden. And, geez, if you're Joel Retornaz, you're probably thinking, you want to just shake right now, get it over with, or what?
I have seen an ex-teammate, Adam Casey, do that once, and it was pretty funny. Double peel was made, and he just walked down the sheet, shook hands, and walked on. Away he's gone. Didn't need to waste an extra 5 minutes out there, he said.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Yeah, it's cold.
And I've seen EJ do that. Like, we've seen him do it for years, right? Any sort of angle, it doesn't have to be very much, and he throws it hard enough that he's going to be able to make it. If you give him the opportunity, he's going to end the game.
Yep. Good, good, good. Good, just wait. Shot EJ.
Just the straight peel for EJ, no trouble. And we're going to see some guards and peels exchanged here. Again, we will be back with you at 8 a.m. local time tomorrow morning. It'll be Nicholas Adine against Slam debutante Jordan McDonald. Be their first time as a feature game here at the Slams. Nice to have them in the field. Very young team. Connor, I know you know them a little bit from the scene in Winnipeg. What can you tell us about the young Jordan McDonald team?
Yeah, super talented group of kids. Like very, very talented. Way too good too early. No, they're super great kids. Really good heads on their shoulders and love the game. And yeah, it's good for them to get some experience against these slam teams, right? And there's nothing like playing in the Grand Slams. It is the best of the best, and it's only going to make guys like that better, which unfortunately for me is not a great thing, but they're lucky.
Yeah, you wanted them to at least be out of the Slams for another year or so.
Yeah, they're lucky. They're such nice kids, and I hope they enjoy it. I know I talked to them earlier today, and they had a great time. They played Bruce today, and it's
them pretty close too.
Yeah, had a great game against them, and it's only going to make you better the more opportunities you get to play against the top teams. And I know that they're very excited to be here, and yeah, they're definitely have a very bright future.
Yeah, they've played a ton this year. I believe they're sitting at 10 or 11 events, and they actually just had their first DNQ of the season last weekend in Phoenix. They were at the Golden Wrench in Phoenix, Arizona, and that was the first time all season they didn't qualify in an event, which is a very impressive record, and it has a lot to do with how they found their way into the Slams.
I think that's a strategic DNQ, so you can spend more time outside in Phoenix. That's the way I would play that one.
Absolutely.
Could curl in Phoenix. You could go to basketball games and sit outside.
Yeah. Golf. Yeah.
All those wonderful things.
Yeah, that's why I never qualified there, and that's the only reason. And we have another final out here. Mark Muskatovitz running Ross White out of rocks in the 8th end. So Muskatovitz will start this Slam 1-0. Ross White will start 0-1. It's a 5-3 win for the Germans. The only other game left out here is Brad Guju and Magnus Romsfjell. Brad had a really tough shot with his last in 7 for 2. Didn't quite come off for him. He settled for 1. So they're tied 6-6. Romsfjell with the hammer. Brad's about to throw his last, and Romsfjell's set up pretty good here. We'll keep you posted on that one as well. But yeah, looking forward to seeing McDonald tomorrow. Adine is not been playing great this year. Hasn't been their best season. They did make the semifinals in Lloydminster last weekend, but then got shellacked this morning by Marco Husley, losing that one 10-2. So be interesting to see those two teams go at it tomorrow morning. And in our game, a freeze attempt. We're starting to come into the house now. Joel Retornaz.
Yeah, we just, as I was looking over, I just got a notification on my phone that, not surprisingly, they are going to touch the rocks tonight, so we will be expecting to get a little bit more curl tomorrow, which is what the Slam viewers would be used to seeing.
So Matt Dunstone just going to try and make this red stone go away. Really nowhere for Joel Retornaz to hide, just the nightmare setup in this 8th end. Had a Mattia Giovanella rock slide into the rings. EJ Herndon made a great double peel, and it's a long way back here, unfortunately.
Curl!
And now there's even less things for Joel Retornaz to do. He probably would have froze on that back one. And Matt Dunstone was able to get rid of it. So really nothing for Joel to do here other than just put this one somewhere where it counts and pray for a miss. Brad Guju made a very nice hit and roll with his last. Created a pocket and rolled to shot stone. So Magnus Romsfjeld doesn't have the easiest shot here on his last for the win. Our final stone in our game here for Joel Retornaz. Again, just needs this one to be shot somewhere. Trying to hide as much of it as he can around that Matt Dunstone rock in the 12-foot, but there's not going to be too many places he can put it where Matt won't have a shot either to chase it or to draw. So they're by it, and that's about as good as you could do. And so Matt Dunstone is going to draw.
Same speed that he threw here. I think you can give us the same weight as last time. Yep.
You're looking for that 40?
So Magnus Romsfjeld making a phenomenal shot with his last. Slammed the Guju rock into the pocket and it rolled out far enough. So they win. The Norwegians move to 1-0. Brad Guju falls to 0-1. Matt Dunstone, final stone, needs a piece of the 8-foot for the win.
Line's great.
This is a pretty good path. We have seen rocks slide quite nicely here. This is the same path that Matt made the draw back in the 4th, and he will make it again here in the 8th. No trouble at all, right on to the button. And so it will be Matt Dunstone improving to 1-0. Joel Retornaz dropping to 0-1. For everyone here at Home Team and Connor Negevin, I've been John Cullen. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you here tomorrow morning. Good night.